anchor Tanya Breyer.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the World Economic Forum's annual meeting 2026. It's both a privilege and a pleasure for me to guide you through tonight's opening concert, an evening that brings together music, creativity, and the shared spirit of global cooperation, which is needed now more than ever. Well, to begin with, it's an honor to invite onto the stage the President and Chief Executive Officer of the World Economic Forum, Mr. Borge Brende, and joining him, please welcome the World Economic Forum's co-chairs, Mr. Andre Hoffman and Mr. Larry Fink.
Great to see you all. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to the opening concert of the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in 2026. We're really honored to have you join us at the start of such an important week. A week that promises to be both enriching and transformative, and comes at a historic moment as our world undergoes profound changes. It's a moment of uncertainty, but also possibility. Not a moment to retreat, but a moment to rise. The World Economic Forum is not about responding to current events. It's about orchestrating the right conditions that enable us to move forward. Isn't this moment also when dialogue is not a luxury, but really a necessity? There's no way we can move the world forward without starting to speaking with each other. That's also why we begin this week with music. Music knows no borders. It speaks no single language. A violin, a trumpet, a clarinet, and a drum, they come together in perfect harmony, each unique, each essential, each voice making the whole more beautiful. That is what we must do. Not erase our differences, but celebrate them, amplify them, build from them. This year's theme, A Spirit of Dialogue, captures the essence of our mission. I envision the 3,000 participants here in Davos working in concert to drive positive change, and I count on each of you. Thank you. And then it's my distinct pleasure to introduce one of our co-chairs, Andre Hoffman. Andre, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, hi. Thank you very much, Borge, to this introduction. I think that, well, I suspect some of you have read your papers before coming. You know that the spirit of today, the reason we're having this annual meeting is in the spirit of dialogue. And dialogue means opening your ears, listening, and contributing. And that's why we thought that the music is something that can open these doors. And in particular, we need to make sure that we understand that music is not just one freedom, it's not just one way of doing it, it's many different ways. And the concert of tonight is about this. We're going to start with classical music of outstanding quality with the Mahler Symphony Orchestra and Reno Kapüson, but we're also going to go to a more contemporary style of music later on. And I think this culture of music and several differences in the music is something that's really rooted into the spirit of dialogue. We need to talk to each other. We need to continue to listen to everybody. So the evening concert reflects the principle we seek to advance throughout the week. Openness, collaboration, diversity and responsibility to future generations. May it invite us to listen more deeply to different perspectives, to shared values, and to the possibility that emerge when we engage with one another in true spirit of dialogue. Thank you very much for your presence tonight, and I hope this concert will satisfy all these requirements, which are, of course, quite numerous. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I know you're all here not to listen to me, but to hear music, so I'll be brief. I grew up in Los Angeles in the 60s and 70s, which meant I came of age at the time of Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, and Neil Young. And there was also a band called Love, which in fact I did love. But it wasn't until much later that I came to appreciate what you'll hear tonight, jazz, classical, and other kinds of music that I didn't fully understand or connect with. But that was the fun part, being a music fan back then. You flip through the records, you go to a store, you put your headphones on, you listen to the music, and it became transformational. And music was a very important part of my life and still remains to be. But sometimes you find something different. You loved right away, and other times something connected with you, not just at that moment, but over time, and that made you think, why did that connect with me so emotionally? And I think that's really the essence of this coming week, and the feeling that we need to all envelop. To have open minds, to listen, to think. And that's the goal of this year's World Economic Forum at Davos, to expose people to wider ranges of voices, to a wider range of ideas, maybe even an argument, but one that we have deeper understanding from. And I think not all of it's going to sound as good as the one that you've enjoyed at that moment, like in music. And like in music, you're not going to agree with everything. But if you're willing to listen, it might leave something with you inside. It might stay with you. And maybe you will evolve and be better for it. And that's the mission of the World Economic Forum this week in Davos. So with that, please enjoy tonight.
Well, thank you so much to Borge, to Andre, and to Larry for their opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's opening concert is presented to you in two parts. The first part of our program features one of Europe's most celebrated ensembles, the Mahler Chamber Orchestra, joined by the truly extraordinary artist, internationally renowned violinist, Reno Kapüson. Please now join me in warmly welcoming to the stage the Mahler Chamber Orchestra. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. And now, ladies and gentlemen,